Jesus explains the unforgiving servant and your transformation into little Christs. July 23rd, 2020. Words from Jesus and Sister Clare, spoken by Jackie. Clare began, "Well, my precious family, I have been asking lately, Lord, they need to hear more about my faults and flaws." Well, he didn't take long to expose a major flaw that could have destroyed the community. We have people here who are experienced in life and those who are not. One particular young man who is very dedicated to the Lord, in fact, he's the one who left everything behind one night to come here. He had written me, and due to the volume of correspondence, I had not gotten back to him for almost a year, I think it was. Well, when I sent him an email, he responded. We talked on the phone, and immediately he left all his possessions, got on a bus, and landed here the next day. Little did I know the challenges ahead of us. We didn't have anyone here quite as young, so I think it got pretty lonely for him. He had a very traumatic childhood, being raised in his early years in a drug house, with a lot of violence and beatings. Sometimes he would go for days without eating and dared not tell his mother he was hungry or he would be beaten. When he shared this with me, I started to understand why at times he seemed hesitant. He was helping me with housekeeping, but he had never done that before. When he went to live with his grandmother, she would not allow him to lift a finger to do any chores. Oh boy, so we had to start from scratch, and I have a strong perfectionist tendency. I have to fight all the time. Poor thing. No matter how hard he tried, there was always something I found an issue with. Shame on me. I also have a great love for him, so I tried to encourage him and shared my faults with him frequently. But more than anything, he needed my unconditional love, the love he never got from his real mother. As time went on, I got more and more impatient with him, and I could see myself turning into a monster. Finally, the Lord apprehended my husband Ezekiel, and he told me clearly that I was not pleasing to the Lord by acting this way. And the fault was not that he was too slow, the fault was that I am impatient and prone to judgment. That very day, I received the reading of the unforgiving servant, which is written in Matthew 18:21-35. Please look it up. This is so important. Jesus began, "Community is not about what you accomplish. It is about the journey of brotherly love and being transformed into little Christs. As I demonstrated with my life, my love, forgiveness and patience with others, and so must you do the same. You cannot lead without compassion and understanding. You must always put yourself in the other's shoes and walk in deep understanding. Your patience with others must be as deep and inexhaustible as my patience with you. As the shepherd is, so go the sheep. Because of your serious fault of impatience, you are showing others how they too should act towards their brothers and sisters. This was to be a major entrance point for a critical spirit to take over the community. You must not allow any foothold of judgment to enter in, Clare." And you know, I just want to make a comment here. This thing grew in me. It was strong. I could feel a very strong and deep reaction to this person. It was ugly. It was really ugly. And it was strong, and it struck me. Why is this so strong? The reason? It's because it was a demon. It was demonic, and it was put in motion to divide the community. Beloved, this is not a scolding, this is a warning to keep your heart loving and pure, even as my mother's, because what you do teaches others to do the same. This is how Satan works. He finds your weaknesses and character flaws and plays them until you are in a full-scale war with your flesh and covered in effluent, spilling it all over others. Impatience comes from self-interest. You want something done well and quickly, yet community life is not about getting things done, but about brotherly love. And this is what I do with you, Clare, and so you must do this unto others. Look at the cause, understand the forces at work, make exceptions to accommodate the slow response and lack of enthusiasm. Go for the root of the problem, as I know you try to do. Provide remedies, especially with time to reform. Weigh the pros and cons, knowing that in my eyes you fall grossly short of who you should be, and yet I haven't sent you away. I work with you. Oh, how important it is, my children, to know the depth of your own faults and sins. Without that knowledge, you will become proud, self-righteous, and not fit for this calling. Look at your issues with self-denial in food. How long have I waited for you to change, and just how much effort have you given it? Not enough is my answer. I do not say this to condemn you. I say it to get you into the proper perspective when dealing with the shortcomings of others. Be as patient with them as I am with you in matters of food. This should give you a revolutionary perspective about who you are and who you are not. Remember the 4-year-old child hiding in a hole in the ground, dirty, smelly, and completely lost? Remember the vision I gave you of your condition? This will tame both your impatience and critical streak. Boot these demons out of your life, Clare, and they will not take a foothold in the community. As the shepherd goes, so go the sheep. Remember this, beloved, always. I'm so very sorry, Lord. I promise with your help to conquer this ugliness. I forgive you, sweet spouse, and I impart to you now the very graces you need to conquer these faults. And when I see not one wisp of judgment in your heart towards anyone, even your enemies, whom you have many of, I will help you with the grace for fasting as well. Thank you, Lord. I love you. And I love you more than you could ever imagine. We shall conquer this together.